What's up guys, this is Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm here in Brandon of Nissan to bring you the brand new 2020 Nissan Rogue. This is the Sport Edition. MSRP is gonna start around $28,450. This one that we got today is around $30,400. We're gonna go over all the details. We're gonna do it starting now. On the front of this Nissan Rogue, you're gonna notice that the hood and the bumper has changed a little bit in the 2020 model. What they've done is actually lowered the bumper, they've opened the grille a bit, sleek lights, the hood lines are a little different. You also changed the fog lamp aesthetics. Another misconception about the Sport is people think that it's actually a faster vehicle. That's actually not the case. It's actually smaller than your Nissan Rogue, which we'll show you on the side profile. Length of this vehicle is at 172.8 inches, which is almost 8 inches smaller than your regular Rogue. Your wheelbase is at 104.2 inches, which is almost 2 inches smaller in the wheelbase area as well. These are set with 19-inch wheels. These are machine finished as well. The rear of this Rogue Sport, you're gonna notice that the rear tail lights are redesigned LED. Cargo space in the vehicle is at 33.2 cubic square feet with a total of 62.3 cubic square feet with the second row down. This vehicle is also going after your Toyota CHR, your Honda HR-V, and your Subaru Crosstrek. Couple of things to note also on this vehicle is the capabilities that you have. It doesn't actually have any listing for the towing capacity. Now we're going to go underneath the hood to go over the engine specs. This is your 2.0 liter i4 engine, 141 horsepower with 147 pound-feet of torque, matted with an Xtronic CVT transmission with manual shift modes, getting you between 25 and 32 miles per gallon with a combined at 28. Your width on this vehicle is at 72.3 inches, height at 63.4, which is about 5 inches shorter than your standard Rogue. Ground clearance at 7.4 inches, 0 to 60 at 9.8 seconds, quarter mile at 17.4 at 79.4 miles per hour. Your front suspension is with strut with coil springs, and your rear is with your multi-link suspension. Now we're gonna go on the inside and go over the interior. Inside this Nissan Rogue Sport, you're gonna get 39.6 inches of headspace, 42.8 inches of leg space, which is really good for a subcompact SUV. This is all matted with a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment with Nissan connection. Also has your navigation in this SL model. You're also getting your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This also is gonna have your heated front seats, heated steering wheel with a leather wrap, also your Pro Assist, your adaptive cruise control, leather on the shift knob. You'll get the auto hold, perforated seats throughout the cabin, 8-way power adjustable for the driver with lumbar support. The passenger is going to be getting a 4-way manual, and you'll also be getting the dual climate control settings for the front of this Rogue. In the rear of this Rogue, headspace again is good at 38.3 inches, which is sufficient. The seat setting is a little bit more firm in the back. You cannot recline it. It also sits at about a 90-degree angle, so you do sit more upright, which is okay, but I guess on a long road, you would probably be moving around quite a bit. Leg space is at 33.4 inches, which is also good for somebody over 6 foot tall. 2 cup holders in the center, AC vents here in the center. Sliding over, my head will hit the headliner as you're seeing, but the good thing about the vehicle, the leg space is still pretty efficient. My leg space is actually enough to fit 3 in this subcompact SUV. Now we're gonna take this Nissan Rogue out for our test run. So now we're taking this Nissan Rogue Sport out for our little test run. Some nice things that they have added on this vehicle on top of the things we've talked about is those 19-inch alloy wheels, which we have on this model. So it does make it look a little bit more sporty. The 0 to 60, just a hair under 10 seconds. And as you see, that CVT transmission just makes a lot of noise. you don't necessarily go fast. So if you're going on the interstate or anything of that nature, I would just recommend, taking your time, get behind people, because this is not a very fast vehicle in that perspective. However, being in the class that it is very comparable to your vehicles of like your Honda, your Toyota, and your Subaru. The Crosstrek Subaru, I would say, is pretty spot on to this particular model, and I would say your Honda would be your most capabilities for storage and any type of rugged terrain. You're not going to really take these vehicles off-roading. You can. Ground clearance is not necessarily there. If you're wanting to do something like that, I would suggest doing the Subaru. As for the Toyota CHR, I would say that one and this one is kind of a hand-in-hand comparison. Safety features on the vehicles, both of them have the new safety features in which they are now standard on the 2020 models, and that's pretty much what all the automotive industry is doing. Going in the city-wise, and it's a stop-and-go area where there's red lights and whatnot, it's not necessarily the best system to use at that particular point. So in the front of the vehicle, you're also going to be getting 2 USBs and 2 auxiliaries. The lumbar support for the driver, it doesn't necessarily bulge into the back so hard, so it's actually pretty soft and comfortable. Quietness in the cabin's pretty good. You do hear some noise through the wheel wells. There is no dual pane windows in the vehicle. As for wind in the front of the windscreen, it's actually pretty good as well. You don't really hear too much. The sound system in it is actually pretty good too for the 6-speaker audio sound system. Now going over that 7-inch infotainment screen with the navigation, that's what we have it set on. You can hit into your menu here and you just click onto the sides here so you can see the apps in which you have. You do have a 6-speaker audio sound system in the vehicle. It is HD radio with Sirius XM. You can go into here for your connections for your Bluetooth, and also it has the Wi-Fi capabilities. Click back here, click into your maps, and then you'll go into your full navigation in it. This model, you can't pinch or do anything that way. You actually have to zoom in and out pushing the button. So it's more of a menu on menu type format. This is your dual climate control settings here. Going into your gauge cluster in the vehicle, just kind of scrolling through here so you can see what all it has. Inside, you can do your turn-by-turn navigation. Obviously, for your audio, you can see what station you're on, and then this will also go into your settings here. This one does have your steering assist. You have your emergency braking in the front and the rear, your lane keep assist, and your blind spot monitoring. Now we're going to take this back to the dealership and go over that 360-degree reverse camera. And now looking at that 360-degree reverse camera, it is actually really clean. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of an older system, but it is still very nice. It is fairly easy to reverse with this 360-degree camera. And I'd like to thank Rick here and Brandon of Nissan for giving us this 2020 Nissan Rogue Sport SL for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click the subscribe button, check out the details and merchandise and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.